This edition of the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those who love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at themikewagnershow.com, including t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, throw pillows, tote bags, and more. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show. And for more great gift ideas, including great books by Mian Mohsen Zia, t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and more, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mian Mohsen Zia store. Make sure you order today. Also, for this fall and Christmas season, the Mike Wagner Show is also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs, huh? The holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh, cry at the same time. Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw of Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809. That's 646-798-0809, or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. pictureless photo books, bringing memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And don't forget to subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget to show your support at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Click the donate button, and also don't forget to support on Anchor FM and PayPal as well. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who is the leading expert on Lewy Body Dementia. That's LBD, and the second most common dementia after Alzheimer's, affecting 1.4 million Americans. It has Alzheimer's-like symptoms, and this was also highlighted when Robinwilliams was misdiagnosed with Parkinsons before he died, and there's various symptoms which are similar to Alzheimer's, and we'll be talking about that. And this gentleman has also developed a new tool called the syntap, which will be quite amazing. He's also co-founder and CEO of Amprion, and worked as a senior scientist, also in research and physician for over 15 years, and served on the faculty at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, and also the Fox Chase Cancer Center in Philadelphia. And live, ladies and gentlemen, he's now in the Plus Studios in beautiful San Francisco Bay, the authority on LBD and brain health, Dr. Russelllebovitz. Dr. Russ, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me today, Mike.
Well, it's great to have you on board too. So you're the leading expert on Lewy Body Dementia.
It's Lewy Body Dementia.
Lewy Body Dementia. That's what I thought. It's an LBD, second most common dementia after Alzheimer's, and affecting 1.4 million Americans, and has various symptoms. We'll talk about that. And this was also highlighted due to Robinwilliams being misdiagnosed with Parkinson's before he died. And you're also co-founder and CEO of Amprion, worked as senior scientist and research physician for over 15 years. And you served on faculty in Houston, and also served at the Fox Chase Cancer Center in Philadelphia, and now you're in San Francisco. And before we talk about LBD and your work as well, too, tell us how you first got started, Dr. Russ.
Sure. My background is originally very much in medicine and science. I've always been interested in learning about how diseases come about, and then more importantly, how we can detect them. And once we can detect them, how we can treat them. And so that's been a lifelong quest, and it's centered now very much on neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and Lewy body dementia, which we'll talk about today.
Mm-hmm. And what was that one precise moment that simply got you interested into brain health and also what you're doing as well, especially neuroscience?
Sure. These are giant problems in the brain, of which more and more of us, as we age as a society, are now susceptible to these diseases. And it's an area that's lagged quite a bit behind areas like heart disease, where we've made substantial advances, and then cancer, where we're making substantial advances. And it's my belief that we can use those same tools and ingenuity to tackle neurodegenerative diseases. They're so important. They affect so many of us throughout our lives, but particularly at the later stages of life.
Mm-hmm. And what exactly is Lewy body dementia? What causes it, and who can get it?
Sure. First, we'll go in the opposite order. Anyone can get it. And very much like other neurodegenerative diseases, the probability of getting it goes up substantially as we age. What causes it? Well, we now know a lot about what causes Lewy body disease, and it is when a normal protein that is very helpful in our brains when we're younger suddenly goes through a transformation. And the transformation here is very much like a transformer in the movie or the cartoon. Mm-hmm. You have a protein, it's a good guy. It is equivalent to something like a backhoe or a tractor. It's helping us, it's building, and it suddenly undergoes a transformation to a wrecking ball. And it starts destroying things in our brain. And worse, it converts lots of other tractors and backhoes to wrecking balls. And this protein is called alpha-synuclein, and it's a protein gone rogue in Lewy body dementia. Mm-hmm. And Lewy body dementia in many ways is very similar to Parkinson's. The same protein has gone rogue, forming what we call a prion protein. And the name of the protein is called alpha-synuclein, normally a good guy, When it goes rogue, forms a prion, it ravages our brains over about 10 to 30 years it takes for the process to complete.
Wow. Now, is this like where it goes from good transformer to bad transformer? Can it happen just like that? Or is it just, like you said, a slow process? Like I said, it could happen just like that. Or is it just like, what are some of the signs that just slowly taking place before transforming?
Yep. Well, it's both. So what happens is one copy, one tractor, one good form of the transformer turns into a bad, and then it takes on this new property that it slowly converts other good ones to bad ones. So it does happen in an instant, probably one or more places in the brain, but it's a very rare event, and it takes 10 to 30 years to make enough copies. And these copies spread between cells, they spread throughout the brain. So the long term of this is converting a small number of transformed proteins into a large number. But net, we see it over many years.
Wow, that is something. And of course, I have the symptoms as well too, like with Alzheimer's and also Parkinsons, loss of reasoning, logic, and function, memory, and everything else. And of course, Parkinson's, rigid muscles, and difficulty in movement, shuffling, and everything. And what are the early warning signs of LBD, and what are its stages?
Yeah, so the one thing I'd want to add before going into the exact symptoms are that, as we talk about, while this is evolving over 10 to 30 years, it's silent for most of the time. So when we think of these diseases of people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, they have begun. The transformer has started in our 30s and 40s and 50s. So that's really important. So one of the reasons that we're going to talk about in a few minutes for detection, early detection, is if we can catch these diseases before they've taken over, before we have symptoms, we can do much more for them. So in answering your question about the specific symptoms of Lewy body disease, Lewy body dementia, it's a combination of Alzheimer's. So you get memory loss, you get cognitive problems. Combine that with Parkinson's, where you suddenly can't move well. Movements are rigid, movements are very difficult, plus hallucinations, mostly visual, but auditory hallucinations as well. So someone at the early stages may think they have a problem moving, and they might see a doctor about their muscles, or they might see a neurologist about their movements. Other people can start with the cognitive, and they may think they have Alzheimer's and their memories there. A third set of them may go to a psychiatrist with behavioral problems. They're seeing things, they're hearing things, and it makes it really difficult. And ultimately, patients with Lewy body dementia end up with all of these, and it makes it a much more trying disease on the patient, on the family, than someone who has only one of these sets of symptoms. Mm-hmm. So it's a bad actor.
Right. And why is it so difficult to diagnose? We'll find out in just 1 minute. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, this edition of the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours, and who doesn't miss grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh, cry at the same time, wear a gift of grandma's recipes, or just because those smiles and tears pictures will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. The whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at themikewagnershow.com. Also on Amazon as well, too, for great gifts. And also for great gifts from me and Molson Zia, go to Amazon.com and check out the Me and Molson Zia store for great books and more. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show on themikewagnershow.com, over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and make sure you donate as well, too, to the Mike Wagner Show. And don't forget to support us on Anchor FM and PayPal as well. We're here with leading expert on Lewy Body Dementia, Dr. Russelllebovitz, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And why has LBD been so difficult to diagnose?
Yeah, well, LBD, as I said, is caused by a protein that's turned into a transformer. It's transformed from something that has a good function to a bad function. And when it does that, it turns out that by most of the tools that we use to look at proteins and we use to diagnose, the two forms look identical. And that's why I'm talking about a transformer. It just flips into a different shape. So what we really need is a way to uniquely identify the bad player. And it requires brand new tools. And that's what my colleagues and I at Amprion have been working on, as well as a number of important scientists around the world, how you detect the transformed proteins, especially when they're present at the beginning of the disease in just minuscule amounts. And that's what we need to be able to do. And that's what we can do now. So we can diagnose the disease by specifically detecting the needle in the haystack, the 1, 2, or 10 copies of the transformed alpha-synuclein in the sea of normal alpha-synuclein.
Mm-hmm. And why is early detection, correct diagnosis of the degenerative brain disease so crucial for the patient?
Sure. Early diagnosis really enables early prevention and early treatment. So as we talked about, these diseases evolve over a 20 to 30 year period. By the time you have symptoms, it's probably irreversible, unlike a lot of other diseases. So the key here is to detect the disease at the earliest possible stage when the damage is minimal, and a drug that only stops it in its tracks would be good enough at that point. And that's really what we're aiming for. Early detection enables really brain health. This is something that we may all be susceptible to in one form or another. So we need to be able to find it early and begin to treat before it's caused irreversible damage.
Mm-hmm. And of course, with early detection, what are some of the very early symptoms that you look for as well, too? We are mentioned about the symptoms about Parkinsons, Alzheimer's, and all that. What was like the earliest detection of the symptoms when it comes to LBD?
Yeah, so it could be any of those, but the ones that start to tip one off, there are certain problems that happen really early. And so there are certain sleep disorders, for example, where everything is fine and suddenly someone starts acting out their dreams and thrashing around and having a dream about being pursued or being in a fight. And very often what happens is if they have a partner, they're suddenly in the middle of the night hitting their partner in the face and kicking, and no one else would notice. So this is a very early sign. This is before you have irreversible damage to the ability to think. But for some reason, early on in this disease caused by alpha-synuclein, the part of the brain that separates what we're dreaming about in the movements in our dreams from actually acting them out, it's damaged. So we actually have no filter. So we start acting out what's in our dreams. That's a pretty good early sign. Another is just the sudden onset of visual hallucinations. You start seeing things that aren't there. It's very difficult to move through space. People may notice that walking down a stair, suddenly they can't tell where the space is. It looks like it's much bigger or much smaller. So these are unique signs for Lewy body dementia. And then one could also start off just with memory disorders that look like other dementias. So you need to take whatever sign is there, and once it persists and doesn't seem normal, check in with an expert to make sure. And to make sure, it's great to have a diagnosis. So a diagnosis can tell you if you have it. It also can tell you if you don't have this disease.
And what prevented Robin Williams from being properly diagnosed having LBD?
Yeah, not as much was known. So the test that we're offering really is only available now in mid-2021. But someone like Robin Williams might have noticed early movement. So when you're an actor, you're so attuned to your ability to move and to your voice. One of the very early signs of Lewy Body Dementia and Parkinson's is just a inability to control your voice. And a normal person might not notice it, but you would. You live by your voice. You would notice suddenly if it didn't sound right or you couldn't control it. And that's one of the early signs that Robin Williams probably had. Linda Ronstadt, the singer, was originally diagnosed with Parkinson's for similar reasons. So these are early signs.
Wow. That is something I read about Linda Ronstadt and I just shook my head. I'm like, wow, that is something. It's not just Robin Williams, but Linda Ronstadt and maybe some of the other notables that might have been mistaken for Parkinson's instead LBD.
Sure. And so this is all very challenging. And what we need are tools to be able to dissect these diseases and diagnose them early. So at least for LBD or for Parkinson's, our syntap test detects the misfolded forms, the rogue proteins of synuclein. And if one suspects very early that there's a problem, you can confirm that it's present or confirm that it's not present. Either one of these can be life-changing in a positive way.
And how does this work? We'll find out in just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's of Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809. And don't forget to check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. And we'll be back with the leading expert on LBD, Dr. Russelllebovitz, after this timeout. This edition of the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host, and I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written, it's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with Dr. Russelllebovitz, the leading expert on Lewy Body Dementia here on the Mike Wagner Show. And your research team has developed the syntap test. And tell us how that works.
Sure. What we can do in our test is if there are as we mentioned before, for those just starting now and tuning in, that Lewy body dementia and Parkinson's disease are caused by a transformed protein called a prion protein. And it's called alpha-synuclein is the name of the specific protein. And when it is transformed, it's present in very small amounts, and over a 10 to 30 year period, it grows to be in very large amounts and spreads throughout the brain and damages cells permanently. So in our test, what we can do is to take a sample that would have a small number of these transformed proteins, and we amplify them 1 billion-fold or more over the course of a few days. People who do not have the transformed form of this protein, there is no amplification, there is no output at the end. If people who have a small number of copies get it amplified to a very large number that can be detected by techniques that have been around for a long time. So really the secret here is we very specifically amplify these prion-like particles, and that is the key to early detection and accurate detection.
And why is this test a game changer for the detection and diagnosis of this brain disease?
Well, without a molecular test to tell you that you have the disease, the diagnosis becomes very subjective, and it can take years or decades. Remembering Robinwilliams, that it took a long time, took several years from the time first symptoms were detected. Several years later, it was called Parkinson's. And then several years later after that, Lewy body dementia. At every one of those stages, you get new symptoms to help with the clinical diagnosis, but you can never go back. They're irreversible. The damage is very much irreversible. So game changer is being able to say early when you first suspect, to say that you have a problem. That problem could be treated by entering into a clinical trial. There are new drugs being developed all the time. Some of these diseases at the earliest stages only appear to respond just to general lifestyle changes, eating a more healthy diet, stopping smoking, exercising more. So knowledge is power here. Early detection equals early prevention.
And that's very crucial as well, too. And where can patients and physicians learn more about LBD and other brain diseases?
Yeah, so there are many sources. I'd say that right now at Amprion, we spend a lot of time either producing content based on the latest and greatest findings by scientists and clinicians around the world. And the source for that would be our website, and that is www.amprionme.com. AMPRIONME.com. There are other sources as well. There's a Lewy Body Disease Association and a Michael J. Fox Foundation that also focus a lot on Lewy body dementia. So any of those sources, probably all of those sources, can help.
Mm-hmm. And how can one make an appointment, get more information about the new syntap test?
Well, one would go to our website, again, at AMPRIONME, AMPRIONME.com, and our test has to be ordered. This is a clinical diagnosis. It has to be through a doctor. And so if one felt that they had a reason or someone in their family had symptoms that could easily be Lewy body dementia, that they would contact their doctor, and we would then, that doctor would contact us and arrange for the test to be done.
That is amazing. And we're getting a lot of great information from Dr. Russelllebovitz about LBD or Lewy body dementia here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a few more things. Dr. Russ, what can we expect from you and your company in 2021 and beyond?
Yeah, well, one, we now have a test that can help people. So we're expanding the use of that test. We believe it may be helpful to identify certain classes of people who are otherwise diagnosed with Alzheimer's, who may have Lewy body dementia or may respond differently to treatments. We're expanding it for Parkinson's, and we're developing new forms of the test. We are working with drug companies because our test helps them identify patients who actually have these diseases, and therefore we can help them develop drugs that work better and faster and speed the development of really important medicines that will help us all.
And what other services do you guys provide?
Yeah, right now, we generally provide for patients and families and doctors a clear diagnosis of these diseases. For drug companies, as I said, we are research partners, and we are working with many, large and small, to develop the next generation of drugs here. And we hope it'll be the first generation of very effective drugs.
And we're certainly looking forward to that as well, Dr. Russ. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I've had a number. It's everything from teachers early on, usually people in a teaching capacity. So people who have taught me in high school, people who taught me about science and to love science, and people who taught me about medicine and the importance of helping other people.
That is fantastic. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Good, you should follow what's important to you, but the goal for everyone should be to leave the world a little bit better than when you came into it.
I think that's very good advice as well, too. I love it. Once again, Dr. Russelllebovitz, leading expert on Lewy Body Dementia, and also the founder of Amprion on the Mike Wagner Show. Dr. Russ, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. Once again, tell us your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, and where can people just get more information?
Sure. Again, in closing, first, I want to thank you, Mike. What you do is so important in getting information out to all of your many, many listeners. And congratulations on your great success with your podcast.
Thank you as well. Thank you. And your compliments as well, too. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we're all working towards a goal of helping people, and you're doing a job that is critical. So I am very honored to be able to participate on your podcast. So, finally, in closing, if one wants to learn more about Amprion, again, www.amprion.com is the website. And it's got a lot of good information, and we appreciate any feedback.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Dr. Russ, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific.
Picture this photo books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Preserving memories, keeping the memories of your loved ones alive as they reach in and touch your heart. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whether it's a gift of past holidays, grandma's recipes, long ago moments, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809. Once again, that's 646-798-0809. Or visit picturethisphotobooks.com.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.